It's like I saw her in a different light. Though a year had passed since we've been dating, I was amazed observing the way she was behaving. On our first date, after that brief separation, that's when I witnessed her faith in manifestation. Thinking back on our conversation about our relationship and how to get past its complications. Knowing it wouldn't work using that old system, I proposed the application of godly wisdom. Our do's and don'ts had to be determined by the Bible's rights and wrongs on things concerning honesty and sexual intimacy. In the past on these matters would disagree, cause sex before marriage is something she was used to, but couldn't understand why I'd refused to. But that day the God of grace put his hand into her heart and gave her spiritual understanding. He made her determined to stay pure, that's what I prayed for. So it wasn't because of my demanding. All I did was establish the boundaries and she agreed. I knew in my heart that it was time to proceed into the fulfilling relationship we craved, cause the path to its success the Lord had paved. So we made it official, becoming boyfriend and girlfriend, committed to love till our lives in this world end. But make Christ the focus, believing it would be him and not the way we felt that would hold us together even in disagreement. Then came July 2nd, 05, our spiritual achievement. That was the day we got baptized together at Brighton Beach, declaring our faith to God and whoever. Felt more empowered than ever, but that power had to be tested in stormy weathers. Our hearts are full of desires that seem like unachievable dreams, but are fulfilled by the
power of prayer.
Like gold is tested in fire, faith's redeemed after testing and trial by the
power of prayer.
But faith works only in loving hearts, and hearts closed by pain are reopened by the
power of prayer.
Two joined in true love will never part. God ordained this marriage sustained by the
power of prayer.
In pursuit of my dream, I was being introduced by God to a new scheme. I was being refined and to purify the work of my hand, God told me to leave my job behind. So I quit working as a bouncer in clubs and bars, looking for another job to support my art, trying to pursue career progression, thinking it was what I had to do as a man before I popped the question for her hand in marriage. Like I planned, but I was broke and on my own I could barely manage. But this scheme was a spiritual passage in which God made me understand only his counsel will stand and not the plans of a man. I mean, I made moves applying for jobs but couldn't find a breakthrough. Yet I became awake to his purpose for my life, to which I stayed true, ministering songs that I write. In this he was faithful, and every time I prayed he came through with more than a playful. Man, I was grateful. By his grace people sowed seeds, financing the release of my gospel debut, giving me a way to earn some dough from CD sales and shows. And then I started planning to propose, to get engaged on her birthday. I tried saving for the ring, but I was always short of pay. To the Lord I prayed that he would make a way for me to propose, even though I tried to delay the marriage for a couple of years, cause I wasn't over my fear of not being financially prepared. But while conversing with my big sis on the very birthday, I revealed what I planned as a gift. She looked at me and said, a friend gave me that exact amount of cash as a gift. You have it instead. Our hearts are full of desires that seem like unachievable dreams, but are fulfilled by the
power of prayer.
Like gold is tested in fire, faith's redeemed after testing and trial by the
power of prayer.
But faith works only in loving hearts, and hearts closed by pain are reopened by the
power of prayer.
Two joined in true love will never part. God ordained this marriage sustained by the
power of prayer.
His testimony would be different if in my own way I was able to pay for the ring. But the good Lord has something to say, that he never shares with man the glory and the work of his hand. It's like I had to be trapped in financial hardship so I could stand still and watch him make it happen. Seeing as he provided the money for the ring, I could rely on him to provide every other thing. And this was God's revelation, to take a step of faith and stop the marriage procrastination. And I obeyed with no hesitation, set up a picnic for her birthday celebration, where we ate, drank, and engaged in conversation with beautiful trees and flowers as our congregation. Then suddenly time froze. With that beautiful ring I bought from Ernest Jones, I knelt down and proposed. While she shed tears, she said yes, agreeing that we would wed in July the next year. So we started planning by faith, even though between us a budget would have been impossible to raise. Yet we wrote down on a list everything we wished and prayed every day for God's okay. One by one, all kinds of donations were made, that after 10 months, every single bill was paid. I was amazed on July the 7th 11th, '07, watching Lucille looking like a bride from heaven. As she walked down the aisle, I'd never seen a prettier smile. This was my blessing that God intended all the while. We did it all in style, from saying our vows to wooing the crowd with our first dance. We showed them how cool it is to believe, then flew to the Maldives. Everything we dreamed had finally been achieved. Our hearts are full of desires that seem like unachievable dreams, but are fulfilled by the
power of prayer.
Like gold is tested in fire, faith's redeemed after testing and trial by the
Power of prayer.
But faith works only in loving hearts, and hearts closed by pain are reopened by the
Power of prayer.
Two joined in true love will never part. God ordained this marriage sustained by the
Power of prayer.
Our hearts are full of desires that seem like unachievable dreams, but are fulfilled by the
Power of prayer.
Like gold is tested in fire, faith's redeemed after testing and trial by the
Power of prayer.
But faith works only in loving hearts, and hearts closed by pain are reopened by the
Power of prayer.
Two joined in true love will never part. God ordained this marriage sustained by the
Power of prayer.